Hey you guys, it's your girl T. So I wanted to come out here and just do a regular vlog for you guys. So as you guys know, I've been going through all this moving drama lately. If you guys follow me on my fan page, if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, you guys know I've been going through just a whole bunch of mess with this moving company, okay? And I said that once I got my stuff, I was gonna put their ass on blast to warn other people to be careful when you're moving long distance. Now, as you guys know, I move all the damn time. I done lived in several different states. You know, usually when I move, especially when it's state to state, usually what I do is I just get a U-Haul, I get a dolly from my truck, and then, you know, we load up the U-Haul, and then my brother and my homeboy, they drive the truck, you know what I'm saying? So this is not like my first time ever moving long distance. I know how to pack, I know how to get things together, because I move a lot. You know, I would say since my oldest child was 1 year old, we've probably lived in like maybe 15 different areas. You know what I'm saying? Different states, different homes. Like, I move a lot, and I don't know why that is. You know, like my mom's like, you're always moving, you know, you just need to find somewhere. But I just think I just have a really antsy spirit, and I just can't be in one place for like a long time. Like, I just, you know, I grew up in Minnesota and I lived there like my whole life, and we moved a lot as a kid too in Minnesota, but we mainly moved around in there. But as I got older, I was like, I don't ever want to feel like I'm just stuck in one area, or I just make like, you know, one state or one area my home. I want to try different cities. I want to live in different places. So yes, I'm the opposite of an army brat. I just move, you know what I mean? So one thing I know about moving, I know the prices, I know how to get it done, I know how to move from state to state where it's drama free. But this time what happened is that I ended up using a moving company because right now my brother's working, you know, he's working, he's going to school, so he couldn't take any time off for when I needed him to drive my truck up here. My homeboy just started a new job. I really couldn't find anybody to drive my stuff out here to LA. So I figured, you know what, that's cool. Let me go ahead and look for a moving company. So when I went to go do my search for a moving company, I did a Google search. I did, you know, movers, and I sent a few different companies. You know, I requested quotes from several different companies. So it was a few of them that got back to me. A lot of them were really expensive. I mean, one company was even talking about $8,000. I'm like, for $8,000, I might as well buy all new furniture and sell all my shit in Minnesota. Like, I'm not gonna pay $8,000 to move. That's ridiculous. So I was looking for something $2,000 and under, because when I moved from North Carolina back to Minnesota, with the dolly, with the moving van that I use, it was like a total of $900. It was like a little bit under $1,000, and that's not including gas and stuff like that. And you know, but just for the truck and the dolly, it was a little bit under $1,000. So I figured with using a moving company, it'll probably be about an extra $1,000, and I was willing to pay that to get my stuff out here to LA. So finally this company contacts me, and the company's name is called Nationwide Movers. So they contacted me, and out of everybody, they had a really decent quote. The man quoted me about $1,580 and some cents. He said basically they would do everything. They would come to my storage unit. They would be there April 1st. So that way I wouldn't be stuck having to pay for the month of April. He said they would be there April 1st. They would pack everything, load it onto the truck, and then drive it out to LA. It would take them about 3 days to get to LA. Once they get it to LA, they would unload everything, put my bed together, really help me out. They were gonna do all this for $1,580, right? So, and I told them at that time, I said, I have a 2-bedroom storage unit. You know what I'm saying? My storage unit is enough to hold 2 bedrooms and a living room set. But the thing is, I wasn't bringing everything, you know, wasn't as big as a 2-bedroom, because all my kids' stuff is with my mom. So they have their beds, they have their dressers and everything. The only thing in my storage unit was my personal items, my books, my pictures, my armoire, and my bed. I wasn't even able to bring my living room set or my dining room set, okay? So he asked me how many boxes I had. I said, well, I'm not in Minnesota right now. I said, but it's more than 10 boxes. I don't know exactly how many. I said, but this is the square footage of the unit. You know what I'm saying? He was like, okay, well, as long as you have the square footage, you'll be fine. That's what we'll be able to charge you. You know, it's not going to be any more than that. Okay, cool. So now the first comes, and these people are not here. Every day they literally call me every day to push it back. Well, we can't come on the 1st. Something came up. We're not able to come. They called me on the 2nd. Same thing. The 3rd. The same thing. They did not get to Minnesota until the 5th. So now they get to Minnesota, and the guys come, and they're literally like, oh, well, all that's written on this paper is 10 boxes. I said, what do you mean all that's written on this paper is 10 bucks? I said, I spoke to this man for an hour. I explained to him what I was trying to move. I explained to him that everything was coming out of a storage unit. So why would you think I'm about to pay you guys $15.80 to move 10 boxes when I could ship 10 boxes to LA? I've shipped several things out here to LA, and I've always paid between $30 and $70 to ship big boxes of stuff, my shoes, my clothes, and everything else to get shipped out here. So there's no way I would pay $1,500 to ship 10 boxes. That's ridiculous. So now they're like, okay, well, it might have been a misunderstanding. We'll figure everything out. You know, just let us know what all you need to pack. So now I'm like, okay, this sounds like some straight up bullshit. So now they're moving all my boxes onto the truck. Now mind you, if they really assumed I only had 10 boxes, they would have just came in a small U-Haul. They would have just came like, you know, like a little pickup truck. These fools came in a huge ass truck. So it's obviously clear that they knew that I was not moving 10 boxes. Who in their right mind would pay $15.80 to move 10 boxes, right? So then they get there and they're moving everything on the truck. And so he's like, well, if we move your couch, that's going to be an extra $1,000. I'm like, well, damn, you know, what the hell? So I said, you know what, just leave the couch. I'm just going to have to, you know, give it away to the Goodwill. And mind you, this couch is only 2 years old. It's a really, really nice couch. So that has me pissed off. I can't bring my couch. I don't want to bring my dining room table and chairs because it just seemed like it was going to be more and more money. So now, you know, we're packing up everything. They're getting everything loaded on the truck. I'm noticing as they're moving like my chairs, like my patio set. As they're moving certain things, they're using a lot of tape. They're using a lot of bubble wrap. They're double taping everything. You know, they're just being really, really extra in the way that they're packing stuff that we had already been packed, that we had already went through, packed, and sorted not even a few days ago. So now the dude comes and he sits down. He's like, well, I got good news and bad news. I'm like, what do you mean good news and bad news? Like, I don't want to hear anything about bad news when it comes to you moving my stuff across the country. What do you mean? He was like, well, we got to charge you more than $15.80. And I'm like, what do you mean you're going to charge me more than $15.80? I said, this was my quote. And I'm supposed to pay half now and then half when you guys get to LA. And I had already given them a $300 deposit to basically confirm that date, which they did not make it on time. So he says, well, we went through 13 rolls of tape. I'm like, 13 rolls of tape? Me and my mother-in-law and my kids packed up all this stuff and we went through 2 rolls of tape. What were y'all packing? What were y'all wrapping up that you guys had to go through 13 rolls of tape? Then he goes, well, I'll give you a discount. I'll just charge you for 8 rolls. I'm like, this makes no sense. What are you repacking? Everything is already packed. Then on top of that, then he says that, well, you know, instead of the 10 boxes, you had about 30 boxes total. And I'm like, yeah, of course I had 30 boxes because this is a 2-bedroom storage unit. You know what I'm saying? I never told y'all that it was just 10 boxes. So then he says that, well, I have to charge you, you know, extra for that, you know, plus the armoire, plus the bed. And I'm like, this is ridiculous, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, so when everything is said and done, this man charges me damn near $2,800. And he says I had to give him half right there and then. And I'm like, you know what, this is ridiculous. I said, this whole situation, you guys got me in a corner. I said, my thing is, I feel like y'all just need to take everything off the truck and I'm going to be done with it. Then he tells me, well, we can't take anything off the truck. If we take it off the truck, we're going to have to charge you for loading and unloading the truck. And I'm like, are you serious? You guys are going to charge me money to take this shit off my truck, to take this stuff off the truck? And he was like, yeah. So I said, okay, fine. Keep the stuff on the truck. So I was like, all right, fine. I'm going to put on my credit card. Because right now, I don't feel comfortable with this whole situation. I'm not about to just give you, you know, $1,300 in cash. I'm putting this on my credit card, point blank. So I put on my Citi MasterCard. And so they got everything in the truck, drove away. Now, mind you, once they drive away, there's still stuff in my storage unit that I had to go get another U-Haul, rent that out to get this couch out my storage unit, to get my dining room table, my tables, and the boxes I couldn't even bring because they were just charging me, you know, box upon box upon box. So there was still like an additional 10 boxes that I chose to leave in my mom's garage in Minnesota. So now I had to call my brothers and tell my brothers to get down to my storage unit. They helped me pack up everything. We loaded onto the truck. We moved everything to my mom's house. I ended up giving my couch away to the Salvation Army. I called them to come that Monday morning. And I'm like, you know, I could have made money selling my couch, but I just didn't have the time because I had to get back to LA. So I just gave it away, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully my couch blesses somebody else. It was in perfect condition. Hopefully my dining room table and like my 6 bags of clothes and shoes that I gave away too blesses somebody. You know what I mean? So I gave all that stuff away that I wasn't even intending to give away, but I couldn't bring it with me. So, you know, I just gave it away. They call me And the lady's like, well, you know, we need the other half of the money right now. So y'all's not getting a dime right now until my stuff ends up in LA. And so she was like, well, I want to go ahead and verify your address. So now this is about the 10th of the month. This is about the 10th of April. So once again, I verified the address with her. I told her, you know, I'll be there on the 16th is when I fly back into LA. I said, will you guys be there in the afternoon? Because I'm flying back at 6 o'clock in the morning. So I'll land in LA by like 10 o'clock or whatever. And so she was like, yeah, we should be there like, you know, mid-afternoon. So I'm like, okay, cool. So now I get to LA, there's no moving truck. I don't get a phone call. I don't hear anything. So I'm like, okay, F it. I get dressed and I go down to the YouTube space. So then I get back home from the YouTube space. I don't have no voicemails. I don't have no messages, nothing. So the next day I call and I'm like, yo, you know, what's going on? Are you guys in LA? You know, I still haven't gotten my stuff. And the man's like, oh, well, we'll check on that. We'll figure out what's going on. Okay, cool. The man never calls me back. So the next day I call him. So then I call him back a few hours later. Same thing. I'm trying to check on it. I'm trying to find it. Don't hear anything back. The next day I'm calling again. He starts going off on me. Yo, you calling too much. Why you calling so much? I told you I'll call you when we find your truck. Hold up. What do you mean when you find my truck? You guys came to Minnesota April 5th to get my stuff, and it's now the 18th, and you talking about you don't know when you know where my stuff is at? So now that's when I'm getting heated. That's when I'm posting stuff on Facebook. You know, I'm like, this is just ridiculous to me. These people are just some of the most unprofessional people I've ever met, the rudest people I've ever met, and their whole concept is just a fraud. So now I'm researching this company like, you know, this makes no sense. And as I'm researching this company on Better Business Bureau, on, you know, Consumer Reports, they have like the worst rating. And it's not just this company. It seems like a lot of these nationwide moving companies or these long distance moving companies have a lot of bad reviews, but particularly with Nationwide Movers, the same thing they did to me, they did to several other people. They gave them one quote for like $1,500-$1,600, and then once they get there, they double it up. It happened to one couple that was moving from Florida to another state. They ended up getting charged $4,000 for their stuff. And then when the man told them to take everything off the truck, they threatened him and said that he had to give them $1,000 cash. If not, they were going to keep the stuff on the truck. So everything that happened to me happened to other people throughout the years. So I'm like, investigating everything, they're saying that a lot of the police departments don't get involved because with the long distance thing, it will become federal, and the feds are not going to worry about people's stuff. You know, they're not going to worry about a moving company. Whereas if this was more local, then you could call the police and say, you know what, I haven't gotten my stuff. These people are still not here. But once it's federal and they're moving it from state to state, you know, they can just kind of switch things around as they want to. So nothing has really happened to these companies. And the whole situation was just so frustrating. So long story short, these folks end up here around the 21st of the month. Mind you, they got my stuff April 5th. So then they call me and they're like, oh, we'll be there in a few hours. Are you home? You know, just like antsy and just rude, as if I've been holding them up, as if they're waiting for me. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be here. You know what I'm saying? Just come with my stuff. So they end up pulling up or whatever, and it was two guys. They came to move this stuff, whatever. They were cool. But then I noticed as they're bringing my stuff, you know, we're checking out the boxes, we're checking off what's there. My coffee tables literally got destroyed. They're chipped, they're dented, they're scratched up. They broke my shoe rack. My shoe rack was already broken down the way I had broke it down. They unscrewed the wheels off of there, lost the nuts, lost the bolts, literally broke my shoe rack that cost me $60. It holds 50 pairs of shoes. So now I have to find a new shoe rack. So now I'm talking to dude like, hold up, this is some BS. Y'all broke my shoe rack. My coffee tables are all scratched up and dented. He was like, well, you can just call the office. You can file a complaint with the office. You know, it's nothing that we did. You know, it might have happened when they were moving it from Minnesota or when they were moving it once he got to Chicago, because it's been on several different trucks. And I'm like, what the hell? Okay, so this is my living room. It's still really, really messy. I'm still moving and stuff. But I wanted to show you guys the table. You guys can see this is my little marble table here. These fools done chipped on my stuff. I mean, it's ridiculous. Chips all up along the side. Here goes another one of my coffee tables. Let me try and zoom in. Look, you guys can see the leg right there, scratched, chipped. And I've only had these tables like a year and a half. This is a deep scratch. I'm gonna come in close. Super, super deep scratch right here. I mean, it's just crazy that you think that you can trust a moving company, they destroy your stuff. But this is the worst here. Y'all remember my damn shoe rack that was in my room? My couch will be here on Thursday. So I'm still getting stuff together. But this is my shoe rack. These fools literally broke my shoe rack. Now the shoe rack comes in 2 pieces. Let me kind of zoom out. Oops. So the shoe rack comes in 2 pieces, right? So they had no business taking this off, period. They done took this off, lost the screws, don't know where the screws are at. But that's not even the worst of it. On this side, this is broken. This right here is broken. You know, I'm just so frustrated with this company. It's just ridiculous. So they literally broke my shoe rack. My shoe rack is useless to me. So I have to file a claim on this as well as filing a claim on my tables. And walking through my place now. I had to go buy another shoe rack yesterday. I went to Bed Bath & Beyond. Do you see the price? $69.99. I had to spend over $70 on a whole nother shoe rack because this moving company destroyed my shoe rack. It's insane. But this is my empty condo. I don't even be in the living room yet. We're still trying to get it set up. This is probably where I'm gonna have, well, no, it's gonna be on this side. So on this side is where we're gonna have everything set up. It's gonna look really nice when everything is said and done, but yeah. Right now, I'm in my struggle condo, but my kitchen is hooked up. So I managed to get like my knives. There goes my pink utility kit. Yes! They didn't have it in purple. Sucks. But I got it in pink, so my kitchen is cool. So right now it's just trying to get all this stuff together. This is the second bedroom here. So I got some boxes in here, you know, relatively empty. But I'm loving my place. Now I just have to get everything hooked up. So that's about it. The crazy thing is, while I was on that site checking out the reviews, other people were saying the same thing. Another person said the same thing about her coffee tables, that they were scratched up and dented and you know, chipped and everything else. So I mean, this is just ridiculous. This company is the worst company. If you need to move long distance, if you need to move from state to state, do not use Nationwide Movers. You will not get your stuff in time. Everybody has gone through the same experiences I had. I'm just mad that I found out about it after the fact. You know, it wasn't until after, you know, I had signed my agreement with them that, you know, I found out how deceitful they were. Nobody got their stuff on time. These people came a week, 2, even sometimes 3 weeks later than what was initially agreed. You know, so the whole situation is a mess. And then when they got here, they demanded cash. They said I could only pay them cash to get my stuff off the truck. So then I had to give them $1,100 in cash. So I did that, but I definitely called my credit card company. And that's the one thing about having good credit. I don't care how many times comedians joke and laugh and stuff like that. It is very important that you keep good credit, because imagine if I didn't have a credit card, imagine if I didn't have good credit, I wouldn't have been able to put that original balance on my credit card. So my credit card company was very aware of everything. I was calling them once a week, like, my stuff is still not here. I'm not sure what's going on. This company is a scam company. So my credit card company is right now disputing the charges. They took in the charge off my credit card, the initial $1,300, because they don't deserve $1,300 for all the bullshit they put me through. You know, I gave them the little $1,100 because I did eventually get my stuff, even though some of my stuff is broken and chipped and damaged. I'm not going to pay this company over $2,800 for their deceitfulness and for their bullshit. So I'm making this video to warn folks who are moving long distance. Do not use Nationwide Movers. Do your research. And honestly, if you can do the shit yourself, do it yourself. Because like I said, when I moved state to state myself and with my brothers, it is so much cheaper. None of my stuff has ever came back broken. Nothing has ever been chipped. The same way we packed everything up is the same way that we get everything unloaded off the truck. You know what I'm saying? I've never gone through anything like this. And this is a shame that when you go through a professional moving company who's supposed to be bonded and insured, that you have to go through all this nonsense. So I just wanted to make this video warning people. If you guys have been through the same thing, leave a comment down below. You know what I'm saying? If you guys want to check out the reports that I found all the information. I'll put all the links down below. You guys can research. I'm not making this up. Everything that these people are saying on these websites, all these consumer complaints and these consumer reviews are everything that I myself went through as well. And being that I have an audience on YouTube, I want to use my voice to warn other people, because I know a lot of you guys email me all the time about wanting to move to LA and, you know, wanting to move to New York and wanting to move here and there. And that's fine and dandy. Move wherever you want to move, but just be smart about it. Do your research and make sure that, you know, you're able to put at least the down payment on a credit card in the event anything goes awry. So that way you're just not shit out of luck with your money. Because I'd have been really, really pissed off if I lost over $2,800 on this bullshit ass move. I'd rather lose $1,100 as opposed to $2,800. You know what I'm saying? So the whole situation was just a mess, but I wanted to come on here and talk about it with you guys, since so many people have been asking me and emailing me to find out who this moving company was. I told you guys I was gonna do a rant on it. I'm sorry it's so long, but I wanted to be really, really detailed. So you guys, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Have you guys been through this situation? What do you do when it comes to having to move long distance? You think it's easy to just sell your stuff and then just buy everything anew? Or do you feel like it's better to just pack everything yourself and then drive the truck yourself? So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Let folks know the way that you do long distance moves. Do you have a reputable moving company that you can, you know, add to the discussion? Let's go ahead and talk about it. Leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. All right, deuces. Hey YouTube, it's your girl Lovelyti, and you can show me some love by hitting that subscribe button, watching my previous videos, and following me on social media.